Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about wildlife conservation projects and Wildlife Protection Act. So let's get started. So we'll commence the lecture with Tiger Project. Tiger Project was launched by the Congress government to conserve our national animal, the Royal Bengal tiger. It was launched in the month of April, 1st of April 1973. So Tiger Project is India's landmark wildlife conservation program launched in 1973 to protect the endangered Bengal tiger and its habitat, establishing tiger reserves, combating poaching, and ensuring viable tiger populations, making India home to nearly 75% of the world's wild tigers today. So the alarming reduction in the number of tigers had actually led the government to launch this project. The number of tigers were decreasing day by day due to various illegal activities, various other causes like ill-maintained sanitation, improper habitat, and many other reasons were there. The fact is that the number of tigers were reducing drastically. Now, to address this problem, the government of India had launched this project. This initiative by the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change has significantly increased tiger numbers from low levels, turning into a global success story in saving the species from extinction. So on 1st April 1973, government launched Tiger Project to save tigers. It was launched from the Jim Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand. The first director of the project was Kailash Shankla. So he was the first director of this wonderful project that was launched to save our national animal. See, the Indian tiger population at the end of the 20th century was estimated at 20,000 to 40,000. Project Tiger is a centrally sponsored scheme of the Ministry of Environment and Forests administered by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. The first countrywide tiger census in 1972 estimated the population to comprise more than 1,800 individuals, highlighting a significant reduction in tiger numbers. Now, to address this, Project Tiger was conceived and launched thereafter. Project Tiger was launched in Jim Corbett National Park of Uttarakhand in the year 1973, as we have also mentioned earlier. And various tiger reserves were created in the country based on a core buffer strategy. As of March 2025, that's just the last year, there are 58 protected areas that have been designated as tiger reserves under the project. As of 2022, there were 3,682 wild tigers in India, which is almost 75% of the world's wild tiger population. In 1973, 9 protected areas were initially designated as tiger reserves. Then, by the late 1980s, the initial 9 reserves covering an area of 9,115 square kilometer, had been increased to 15 reserves covering an area of 24,700 square kilometers. By 1997, 23 tiger reserves encompassed an area of 33,000 square kilometers. And as of December 2024, there are 57 protected areas that have been designated as tiger reserves. So we can see the rise in the number of tiger reserves in India. So this shows the success of the project. So we'll also talk about Project Elephant. Project Elephant is a Government of India initiative launched in 1992 by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to protect Asian elephants, their habitats and migration corridors, address human-elephant conflict, and improve the welfare of captive elephants through financial or technical support, habitat management, that is fencing, trenches, anti-poaching, and research. So this Project Elephant addresses to various parameters, various points or various goals, you can say. Some of them are human-elephant conflict. There has always been a big conflict between elephants and humans. Humans complain that elephants destroy their habitat, but actually we have destroyed their habitat, and as a result, they are encroaching on ours. Now, the problem is not with them, the problem is with us. Other than this, the aim is to improve the welfare of captive elephants, like the elephants that are there in the zoo, in national parks, all these, through financial support, technical support, habitat management, anti-poaching, and research. Project Elephant was launched in 1991-92 as a centrally sponsored scheme to protect elephants, their habitat and corridors. It establishes elephant reserves and focuses on landscape-based conservation, ensuring long-term survival of wild population. See, addressing a problem just for a very short period of time is of no use. The project which is being launched should ensure that there is a long-term success. There is a long-term plan to take care of these wild animals. Project Elephant has successfully completed 30 years in 2022. Now, due to the concerted efforts of central government, state forest departments, scientific institutions, and civil societies, the pachyderm population in India has significantly increased to around 30,000. See, this is not anybody's single effort, or anybody who is wanting to do this will be able to manage it singly. It's not possible. So everybody should contribute from their side as much as possible. The Government of India has contributed. Then state forest departments, along with the scientific institutions, civil societies, everybody has given their best to save these animals. See, Project Elephant is a central scheme for elephant conservation. Is implemented across 16 major elephant-bearing states in India, providing financial and technical aid for habitat protection, corridor management, and conflict mitigation, covering areas in the northeast, south, and east, including states like Assam, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, and West Bengal. The key objectives and activities are habitat protection. Now, securing national parks, sanctuaries, and forest areas for elephants. Then, corridor conservation, that is protecting vital migration routes like the rite of passage corridors. Human elephant conflict mitigation. As I was just now telling you, it's an age old story or age old problem, you can say. Man always complains that elephants destroy us, our belongings, our habitat, so on and so forth. But this is not actually the point. Implementing rapid response teams, elephant proof trenches, and solar fencing. Research and monitoring, conducting elephant population census and studying ecology. Welfare of captive elephants, that is providing veterinary care, training, mahots, and improving conditions. Now, see, protecting the wild animal in their wilderness is one type of caregiving. It is in situ conservation, as we had discussed earlier. Ex situ conservation is also equally important. Why is it so? You see, when you are providing care to an animal in captivity, that means you have captivated that animal in the zoo or in the sanctuary or in the national park, you should be sure of these things. You should be in a position to give them medical help, that is veterinary care. You should have trained mahots who will be who will be around them constantly and attend them every now and then. You should improve the surrounding condition, you should improve their habitat, you should improve everything around them to make their life smooth and beautiful. So, centrally sponsored schemes will offer what? Will offer financial and technical aid to the states. The Elephant Reserves establishes protected areas with 31 currently in India. The initiatives are what? They include Project Rehab, Gaj Yatra, and DNA profiling. So, this is a brief account of Elephant Project in India. Next, we'll talk about Project Lion. So, Project Lion in India was officially announced by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi ji on 15th of August 2020 during India's 74th Independence Day speech, aiming to protect and expand the lion's habitat through long-term strategies. Now, see, it's a comprehensive science-based effort to conserve the Asiatic lion's flagship species by integrating habitat protection, health management, and community participation, leading to significant population growth and range expansion. Now, the question comes, what is a flagship species? Why do we consider Asiatic lion as a flagship species? A flagship species is a characteristic animal or a plant species or an animal species which is chosen as a symbol to attract the public attention, and who can be a better uh, animal who can attract the mass than lion. And funding for broader conservation efforts, representing an entire habit or cause like tigers, lions, giant panda, all these. So they are extremely charismatic and attention grabbing. Their popularity helps draw public interest and resources to conservation campaigns. And they serve as icons for specific habitats or, conservation issues. So these are flagship species. Now, protecting these flagship species are of utmost importance because by protecting them, we are not only protecting one particular species, we are actually doing good to our ecosystem. These are top ranked consumers, we all know. If we protect them, there will be a healthy food chain and a healthy food web, which will in the long run protect our ecology and environment. See, so what's the basic goal? Secure the future of Asiatic lion, which lives only in Gujarat, India, by ensuring its population and habitat thrive. So, significant success evidenced by a growing population exceeding 890 in 2025. This is really a big success. So, Asiatic lion population estimate is an integral part of wildlife management in the area known as Asiatic lion landscape, which includes Gir National Park and Sanctuary, falling in 8 districts, that is Junagadh, Amreli, Bhavnagar, Porbandar, Rajkot, Gir Somnath, Botad and Jamnagar. It is an endangered species scheduled at Schedule 1 in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, which is present in the local areas of Asiatic lion landscape. Now see, the Asiatic lion is categorized as endangered according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Threatened Species, upgraded from critically endangered category in 2008 due to the efforts taken for conservation and protection of Asiatic lions, resulting in increase in their population over the years. So we can see in 2008 it was critically endangered, but now due to the increase in their number, it is no longer considered as critically endangered. It is considered or it is categorized as endangered now, and we can always hope for a better tag in the coming years. This 10-year project involves habitat management, then disease surveillance, like the new National Wildlife Disease Diagnostic Center, and addressing human-lion conflict with a significant budget approved by the government. So it is managed by the Gujarat Forest Department with central government support, and it uses radio collaring and camera traps for monitoring. See, monitoring is a must. If you are not monitoring something, that means you are ignorant. Without monitoring, nothing can be undertaken successfully. Now coming to the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 or WPA is India's primary legal framework for the conservation and management of its diverse flora and fauna. Enacted on September 9, 1972, it provides for the protection of wild animals, birds, and plants to ensure ecological and environmental security. Now see, this act provides for the protection of the country's wild animals, birds, and plant species in order to ensure environmental and ecological security. Among other things, the act lays down restrictions on hunting many animal species. See, in olden days, hunting was a sport. Hunting gave a lot of joy, satisfaction, fun, entertainment to the mass. But we should understand the fact that it is an extremely destructive sport that is actually going to bring down our national status. National status in the sense, see, we can display, we can give a display of our heritage when we have very rich collection of wildlife. When this wildlife is getting destroyed, then what is actually happening to us? We are bringing down our heritage. So hunting should definitely be prohibited. It extends to the whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. It has sex schedules which give varying degrees of protection. It is 6 schedules which give varying degrees of protection. Schedule 1 and Part 2 of the schedule provide absolute protection. Offenses under these are prescribed as the highest penalties. Species listed in Schedule 3 and 4 are also protected by the penalties are much lower. So Schedule 5 includes animals which may be hunted. The plants in Schedule 6 are prohibited from cultivation and planting. So if these 6 schedules are properly followed, then wildlife is definitely going to get protected. So, thank you very much for attending this lecture. I hope you have understood how important wildlife is for us and how much our government is doing to save it. It's a humble request to all who are listening to this lecture. Please take this matter up seriously and think of it twice before you do anything that will harm the environment. Till then, thank you and happy learning. Bye bye.